My name is Steve McDonald. I graduated from USM in 2004. Go 2004. I'm the father of three grown, wonderful, beautiful daughters. I am the husband to my wife, Marlisle. We celebrated our 36th anniversary last month, and she still loves me, I found out. And I still love her. I've been employed at Palomar College in North San Diego County for 26 years now, for 24 of those years as professor of English, and for the past 2 years as the Dean of Languages and Literature at the college. I came across USM. I'd never heard of USM prior to enrolling, prior to about 12 months before enrolling. And during those 12 months before I came up here to an information session, 4, 5, 6 different people came out of the blue and said something about this place called USM to both me and my wife. And we looked at each other and said, what's going on? I have tried to practice the principle of following the sort of intuitive nudges, the spiritual nudges I get in my life, and I got a lot of them those 12 months before that information evening. So we drove up here, and we circled the building once, scoping out the students and standing out there. And I said to my wife, they look like a bunch of hippies, and I've already done that. And but we came in anyway. And what I discovered was, as I looked around, just as I'm looking around this room right now, that the people who go to USM are people of all ages, all backgrounds, all sorts of experiences, and I felt completely at home in here. And I sat and watched Ron and Mary do what they did just now, and I thought, this is absolutely for me, I'm in. And I spent the first 2 years experiencing all the things we experience here and being asked a question by my friends, family, relatives, colleagues, and by myself. I did not have an answer to this question. And the question was, Steve, what in the world are you going to do with a degree in spiritual psychology? And because I had signed up, not because I wanted to be a spiritual coach, and not because I wanted to do some sort of other type of coaching, and not because I wanted to go and get an MFT in the future, and not because I wanted a doctorate in psychology in the future. I signed up because I had these nudges that said, Steve, you're supposed to be here. And I believe in following those nudges. So I knew I was here. I learned, however, in the 1 or 2 years that as I asked myself these questions, that the question, what am I going to do with a degree in spiritual psychology, was fundamentally the wrong question. The question was, who am I going to be when I complete this degree and as I move through my life with these technologies of spiritual psychology? And what I found was that the person I became was a completely transformed person. I was a more loving man, a more compassionate man. I was a wiser man. I was a much better colleague. I was able to teach my students and relate to my students in a way I never could in the past. I became a way more loving father. One of my daughters was my relationship project. We have a loving, close relationship now. I became a husband. I became the husband I always wanted to be. You know, and those are the things that happened to me going through this program at the University of Santa Monica. Every level of my life changed, but nothing that I was doing changed, because what changed was me. And I guess the last thing I want to say is that there's one thing I took away from my experiences here, that if it were the only thing, then that's enough. It was way more than enough. And what I took away from my experience here is the awareness and the experience that at the core, at the fundamental core of myself, I and you and everyone in this world is an absolutely beautiful being of love and light. And I experienced that in a way, I mean, I'd heard stuff like that, but I'd experienced it. And I walked away absolutely fundamentally believing it, so that it changed who I was and how I related to people. So, you know, I thank USM from the bottom of my heart for what happened here. Thank you.